This episode, one of my favorite people in the wine industry. Look, I barely know the guy. We're just really getting to know each other, but he blew me away in a recent trip. Clay Shannon, a true entrepreneur and a wine force, is on the show. Hey everybody, this is GaryVee, Nerd Chuck, and this is episode 282 of the Ask GaryVee show. And I've got to tell you, I am fired up for a couple of reasons. Number one, the fact that Virginia Tech's wine class is watching right now. Coach Boyer, as I call him Coach. Coach, I'm excited that you got the team here and everybody, and I'm excited about that. You?
Very cool.
Yeah. That's all you have to say, Trail?
It's awesome.
Good. But more importantly, or not more importantly, but equally, I'm excited to do a little bit of a wine episode. For a lot of you that are watching right now, you know I've created this thing called First in Line, which is a text messaging and Facebook Messenger app database so I can give away. I'm actually doing one right now, 60 seconds of my time for 60 people, Snapchat. So Twitter's exploding as we speak right now. And the other thing I get to do is use that data. And we have a couple thousand people that are in the wine business in the database. And we sent only them, a message yesterday to ask questions of my guest here. Let me set it up, and then I'll let him really give his origin story. So you need to think about that for a few minutes, my friend. I've been in the wine business a very long time. I've been out of it at some level for a little bit of time. I recently went to wine country working on a secret wine project. I came across this gentleman. I'd heard of stories of this man. Think of it like, Bigfoot, like you've heard of such a thing, but actually seeing it up close was even better than I can imagine. Everybody, I promise you, the other 11 people that were around on this day that we got to spend a couple hours were grossly entertained by our banter. I actually think the greatest upside of my career is convincing this gentleman to go on a two-man road show with me. I think we can sell out arenas. I think across the globe. I think we have a cadence and a relationship that was instantaneous. I can only equate it to when I met my wife. It was, I knew right away. And I knew right away when I met this man within 13 seconds that he would be a friend. And as you guys know, I don't really recall the wine world that often on this format, but I wanted him to be a guest, mainly because he's a fucking ridiculous character, but also because he's an entrepreneur. And during those hours and that lunch and that time we got to hang out, I got to do, in my way, sneak in some questions subtly that really impressed me on his journey, what he's doing in the wine world, and I'm super excited you're here.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Gary. It's a great honor to be here with all you folks and whoever is listening. Hello.
Just my mom.
What about your dad?
Nope, he won't listen to
shit.
So why don't you tell the Vayner Nation who you are and what you do and a little bit about how you got there while I pour your 2016 Sauvignon Blanc.
I hope you have it chilled. Clay Shannon from Lake County, California.
Quick, before Clay says
do you always interrupt people?
I do.
Okay.
If it's not chilled,
so
it's warm. I know. That's why we have such chemistry. This is about to be some show. If you don't chill white wines, you can actually taste what they actually taste like. It's you really get to the flavors. And the reason Clay wanted me to chill this was he wanted to disguise the flaws.
That's not accurate.
Okay.
And I'm going to think a little bit before I speak here because
it's on the record.
When we had so much fun, we did have a little wine tasting. It was about 10 a.m. in the morning, and I don't eat because I don't have time to eat.
Yes.
And we had a little wine, didn't drink, didn't spit it out.
Right. You swallowed.
But I did swallow. Yeah,
yep.
Absolutely.
As you should.
I'm from Hillsburg, California, Sonoma County, and was there for, I moved out in 1985, had a little business there. And went to work for Sutter Home Winery, Trinchero, for about almost 10 years, and left there and started a labor contracting
How did you
company.
start your Sutter Home career? Because I remember this from our time hanging out.
There's a local newspaper called Press Democrat, and there was an ad in there looking for a vineyard manager, and I applied for the job, and they didn't hire me because
you weren't qualified.
I was too young.
Yeah.
I was too young, and I was too polite.
Polite.
Yeah. No, too young. I had no experience. I don't know anything.
Is that how you recalled it?
No, I just have a little fun here. But no, they didn't hire me, but they loved my energy and hired an older gentleman. And 2 weeks later, came back to me and said, "Hey, we want you because we like your energy." And gave me a job that I didn't know a lot about, farming vineyards. And the Trinchero family, great folks, still great folks, allowed me to do a lot of education. I'm not a college guy. I barely got through high school.
I know the story. Seriously.
Really?
I posted my report card on the internet the other day. I don't know why people didn't believe me. My class rank was 243 out of 254. There was literally only 10 schlemiels worse than me. I mean, like, honestly, I need, you know what? Actually, you know what? Nate, you're not doing much these days. Can you do me a favor? Can you please find those 10 people for me? We need to do an episode. I need to find the 10 people. Go hit up AJ or my sister, my mom. There's a yearbook somewhere in my old house. Let's find it. I know Keith Vogler is one of them. So, actually, he didn't even graduate. Big shout out Keith Vogler if you're out there. Go ahead.
Anyhow, I barely got out of high school, and but I was a smart guy. I mean, I took chemistry, got a B, and I forgot the combination to my locker. And that was like only a couple times I've been scared in my life. I was scared because I was supposed to bring a book to class, and so. But I remember pulling a B in chemistry without.
Can we focus on something important? The combination thing and locker thing is real. Was everybody else completely scared of shit the first time they got into the right? Did you like practice Babin?
Far too much.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I'm with you on this. I like used to forget my combo, like who the turn, pass it. It was like this. Why is it so difficult? Like, why did they make those combos like impossible? But then what was cool was when you were good at it. When you got older, like by sophomore year, you were like the fucking Fonz. You just like turned it a couple times, give it an elbow, and it was set.
My last year, I never, at the last day of school, I never opened it because I couldn't. I forgot, and I was too embarrassed to keep going to the counselor to ask my combo. I don't know where my head was, but I barely went to school. I cut school a couple of times. That was fun.
To do what? Like hang out with friends, girl, like to steal stuff?
No. I don't steal anything.
Yep.
Never have. But we, just to work.
Goof off.
I got
to
off,
work.
Yeah,
I was tremendous.
Like a plumber and a carpenter. When I was a senior in high school, I had 2 cars. I had a work truck, and then I bought it was a Firebird or something. That was bad. Trans Am. That was bad.
Why was that bad? That was probably how you got all the ladies.
I did like to have a few cocktails once in a while.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And that hasn't changed. So anyhow, there was no ladies, but
got it.
A few. But anyhow, forgot the combination. I don't know what I did with Trincaro. They taught me how to grow grapes.
They put you on. They put you on.
I was
Trincaro family and Sutter Home. For everybody
folks.
who's listening right now, if you're under 35, you probably don't know, but this whole rosé revolution's really funny in America because as a kid that grew up in the wine business, the first thing I knew was Sutter Home White Zinfandel. We used to sell it like it had the cure inside. Like it was like, no question, one of the biggest wines in the world. This was like a $3, $4, $5 rosé sweet wine, white Zinfandel. You might remember your grandmother drinking. You might remember Franzia. I mean, it was a craze. I mean, you were there during the prime year. You're drinking the wine already. We're going to save that. That was going to be that was the big moment of the show.
I was just cleansing my palate.
Understood.
All right.
You worked at Sutter Home during the craze.
They started just before I got there.
But you were there during the prime years of where it really got crazy,
I don't think there was 15 employees when I started there.
Interesting.
And I think they made maybe 50,000 cases of wine, and they're 6, 7, 8 million now. Roger Trincaro, I remember seeing him in the tasting room, working in a little office behind there. But just good folks. Learned a lot there.
Were you known like as the White Zin King?
The company was, not
me. No,
me.
you personally.
No.
Like, did you go around town and be like, yo, guys, White Zin King here?
I have my tail between my legs, okay, because I didn't know much, and I had a great job and a big job.
You were staying quiet, listening, and learning.
I did for a while.
Then when did you start opening your mouth? Because you do that now.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably, that's a heck of a good question.
When did you make the transition?
When I started getting loud?
Yeah.
When I quit getting scared.
Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, I just, and I don't remember when that was. I think probably started growing grapes, had a labor contracting business, and everybody's always afraid to do anything, right?
Yep.
And started a labor contracting business, had 1,200 employees in 2 years, made a lot of money, and bought some vineyard, and it was like, geez, that's okay, that's working pretty good. And I started developing some vineyard, buying some land, and at that point developing for cash, and it was like, it's working pretty good. And then started selling a bunch of fruit to wineries that we're not going to mention their names, and had great
For all the
friends still.
non-wine people, fruit means the grapes themselves. Yeah,
sorry.
Go ahead. No worries. Decoding slang here.
Seven. I'm not college educated.
No. I mean wine terms that other when people hear fruit, they think fucking bananas, bro. You're talking about grapes.
Sorry.
No worries.
Okay, we're not in banana business. Okay.
Respect.
But so anyhow, long story short, it's a long story, but
Keep going.
Ran out of contracts and started making wine. And
just to break this down, because I want to make this valuable for people.
Great contracts.
He started a company that was servicing vineyards, made some money, started buying up some land smartly. For a lot of people, what they don't realize is a lot of people, the majority of people in California that are in the vineyard, grape or fruit business, they're growing grapes and selling them off to bigger brands that then use those grapes in their wines. I think there's assumption when you're not in the business that people that grow it, bottle it, and make it and sell it, that is the minority in the overall grapes that are farmed. So you went from servicing to being a vineyard owner and manager and selling off those grapes, and then you made a transition into what's sitting in front of us now of having your own Shannon Ridge brand.
Correct. We couldn't at one point couldn't sell grapes.
So you basically there was no demand for your supply.
Correct.
And you said, fuck it, we're going to start a brand.
Yes.
How'd you come up with the name?
Well, that's my name.
Well, I know that's your last name.
Buckshack,
No,
but
I know.
Shannon is my name.
I'm aware. I know what your last name is.
I'm glad you're with me.
What about
here.
the ridge part, bro?
Ridge, you've been there. It's on top of a mountain at 2,500 feet. Looks down. It's a huge ridge. It's a beautiful property, and it looked
You could have
like
called
Shannon
it Clay
Ridge.
Shannon. You could have also called it Clay Ridge. You could have called it Captain Clay's Super Juice.
It sounds like Gary has a problem with the name of this stuff. I wouldn't call it Captain Clay's Sewer Juice.
No, guys, Captain Clay's Super Juice. Actually, you know
Super
what?
or sewer?
Super.
Oh, Jesus.
What I think. Actually, you know what? I will buy 1,000 cases of a wine. I will personally buy 1,000 cases of Captain Clay's Super Juice, because I guarantee right now on Facebook live chat, people are signing up for cases.
Of Captain Clay's Super Juice?
I think we just invented.
And you are saying this out loud, so I need a purchase order, and I will do it.
It's done.
All right.
Done.
Okay.
My word is bond.
All right.
Number 2.
Send me the purchase order without a price, and I'll
no, I want it for 15 cents a bottle, or like as low as possible, but as high as quality.
Okay.
Am I getting some action here? I think we're pre-selling Captain Clay Super Juice right here on the spot. I mean, the label will be... Babin, you want to design that label?
1,000%.
Yeah, but I'm going to have Caesar do it. But here's the thing. I'm going to... Walked right into that one. All right, Captain Clay, talk to me about the experience of being now... having a winery. Did it sell right away? What was happening?
I had no clue what the hell we were doing.
Sold, I'm in, yes, we'll buy. Captain Clay's CaptainClaysSuperJuice.com is available. For
Somebody-
GoDaddy.
Somebody, 30,000?
$13.
$13. We'll take it. Tell them to register it.
That's a lot
Captain
of money.
Clay's. I'll sell you the website for 5,000.
Okay. By the way, jumping ahead, when you were at the property, you
Yes.
said whoever can trademark 13 Rams first
Yes.
wins.
You did it?
Yeah, sorry, beat you.
By the way, if you guys watched the GaryVee where we were on the Secret Wine Project, you'll see that the sheep were there. Those were your sheep.
Yes, sir.
You love those sheep? That's a very simple question.
Well, I just know you a little bit here,
No, I'm not going-
I
no.
want to be careful
No, I'm
how
just
I
curious,
answer it.
do you
So I told you
appreciate
I'm going
your
to
sheep?
think about. I like the animals.
Good. Okay. Good.
Yes,
Understood.
okay. Don't.
Do you think the wine business? Let's bounce this. Actually, let's get the first phone call. We've got 4 people from the wine business about to call in. We're gonna get a question in a second, Clay. But before we go to this, look, I think you've got an incredible charisma and personality. I also think you're an extremely accomplished entrepreneur. To bring value to a lot of people that are watching, I have so many people trying to find their passion. So many people young in the game. Do you think, just one man's point of view, all jokes aside, do you think the wine industry is a fun, interesting, good industry to go into right now? If people are watching and they see, fun guy here, if they want to go and work the harvest for you for free and learn the business kind of like you did, like, is it a good business? Like, I mean, I'm actually genuinely asking.
Yeah, I love the business. I love the people. It's not easy to sell wine. Selling wine is the hardest thing to do, but growing grapes, farming. There's so many opportunities now I see in this world with what you do, social media,
Yes.
and opportunity, and young folks and older folks, and it's a great time to be in this business, and we're winning. We're winning.
Good. What
Marissa.
Marissa. Is it dialing? This is like slow. Let's see. While we're waiting for Marissa. That was super slow. Seth.
Hi, this is Marissa.
Marissa, this is Gary Vaynerchuk, and you're on the Ask GaryVee show with Clay Shannon.
Hi, Clay. Hi, Gary. How are you?
Tremendous.
We're doing good. How are you?
Doing well. I actually was watching, and I just exited out of the show so it wouldn't be distracting, like I'm on the phone and watching at the same time.
I appreciate it. Can I ask you a very important question, Marissa?
Absolutely.
Are you in for a case of Captain Clay's Super Juice?
Yes, I saw someone was trying to potentially buy a domain name.
Oh, no, it's been bought and sold.
One.
Quick flip. $13
wow,
acquisition,
yes.
$5,000 transaction. That's how you do it, kids.
Very-
That's entrepreneurship. Marissa,
sure.
what's your question, and what do you do in the wine business?
Yeah, so I'm 24. I'm a third-generation winemaker, and I studied winemaking at Cornell University. And when I was 19, I started my capstone project as a wine label just for fun. It's called Redhead Wine, and after entering it in a few business plan competitions, I realized it could be something special. And after working full-time for a large privately owned winery for about a year and a half in California, I decided to go all in, brought my ship to the shore, and now I'm doing Redhead Wine full-time.
Good for you. What's your question?
Yeah, so recently I brought Redhead to market in a few major retailers like Walmart and Kroger, and I'm wondering how I can stay innovative in the market while not having a multi-million-dollar budget like other people in my competition.
Sure. So Clay shouldn't answer this because he's not been able to get any of his wines at big accounts. So I'll jump in here and help you out.
This is Gary's show. Sorry.
No, Clay, go ahead.
Knock yourself out.
No, I've got some thoughts, but I'm joking a little bit. How do you think? So, obviously, how many WalMarts or Krogers have you gotten into? Let's get some context here. Let's make this a business show instead of Joke City.
I pitched to Walmart last June, part of their open call process. They're investing in U.S.-made products and manufacturing, and I am in about 55 Walmarts and growing just because my distribution has kind of limited me a little bit. But
sure, of course.
Now that I've renegotiated my contract, I'll be in the whole state of Ohio, and I just entered West Virginia. And then Kroger, I'm in about 35 stores in the Columbus area as a test.
So, a lot of Ohio action there, which is great because
we do well up there. Yep.
Your wife has spent a lot of time in Ohio,
Yep.
which is I remember things.
Yes,
so,
thank you.
Marissa, I think there's something I would do right away, which is I would run Facebook ads in a 1 mile radius around the 85, 90 locations that your wine is in for your product. And I would make a video of you speaking directly to it because you're super articulate, you're third generation, you've got an authentic story, you're a young buck, and I think it would resonate. I think a 1 to 2 minute video about what you and your wine literally made on your phone for no money and then run as advertising on Facebook to the tune of about, $100, $200 will crush if you decide to put out that video to the general location, the 1 mile radius of the location where your store, that's carrying your stores. I think that would really, really, really help your business, and I think it would be very effective, and it's very well priced attention. That would be my number one black and white point of view.
I've actually already done that. I'm just trying to. It's doing really well. I do like little videos, like if I'm in the store, like saying about my story and the tease profile and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I'm really trying to take that approach to include my customers.
Real quick, Marissa, I'm looking at a post you made inside of a Walmart, right?
Sure.
It's exactly right? Now, to me, how much money are you spending against this ad? Like this.
Okay.
Like this Instagram post, right, that you did in Columbus, right, in the store is exactly right. Now it's a picture, and your Instagram's mainly photos. I don't know what you've done on video on Facebook, but
just video on Facebook for now. Yes.
One of the things that I think most entrepreneurs make a mistake with is they're looking for what's next before maximizing what's current. I'm a little concerned that we're glossing over something that I think really, really works because I've done it time and time again in a Walmart Albertsons environment. Flat out, how much money are you spending on marketing this year? And it might be zero. How much are you spending?
Depending on the post, between $20 and $50, just because I'm reinvesting all my organic profits. I haven't raised any money to back the business yet, so I'm trying to stay in my lane, make sure that the ad is working properly. I don't want to blow 100.
I get it. Smart, super smart. Have you had any ad work?
Yes, definitely. Lots of ads have worked. I'm just trying to think, just as someone that's passionate about what I'm doing, I'm trying to use some of the advice I've learned from your Instagram, your shows, and doing these low-cost marketing strategies, but I just want to make sure I'm doing everything to the best of my ability because, patience is super important, but, when you're selling wine to global conglomerates such as those stores or others, they're maybe not so patient. So
they're not patient. They're not patient at all. You've got to be macro patient when running a business, but micro speed. Walmart and Albertsons doesn't care about your mission. If they don't see the sell through in those locations, they're going to kick you out, and you're not going to get national distribution.
Exactly.
And you know that. So here's what I would say. I love everything that's coming out of your mouth. I like the quick glance I made on Instagram. I think you've got a lot of things going for you. I'm going to give you a couple pieces of advice. Facebook ads and Instagram ads, you need to pound more. And number 2, influencer marketing. People want free wine. I would DM the fuck out of influencers in Columbus. Think about Ohio State kids that didn't go to the league, that graduated, that are probably still in the Columbus area, that probably have 15,000 followers, but didn't make it to the league, and would be thrilled to get $150 and a free bottle of the wine to take a photo with you. And now you've got all those Ohio State fans, being aware of your product. To me, it's very simple. You've got the right religion of trying to maximize things that are low cost, high reward. The only 2 things that I think you should focus on are Facebook ads and influencer marketing on Instagram. That's my 2 cents. Clay, do you have anything to add?
More of a personal note, dollars and cents, marketing, all that. I don't know. I mean, it seems like the more you spend, the more you spend. But
especially if you're bad at it.
Yeah. One of the things that I think is why a challenge that I had when I was younger is when I said I wanted to make 100,000 cases of wine or sell it, there was people I knew that just laughed at me. And then when we got over 100, it was like, so what? And then 150 and then 200. But you have to be tireless. And one of the things I do that I think is the most important is I embrace when somebody tells me no. It just turns me on because and you know why? Because you gotta get ready for all the no's you're gonna get. No, they don't want your wine. No meeting, no callback. I just love them. Because you know why? Because I know that I'll never have to deal with that again. Just one. You're only gonna get so many no's in your life, right?
Absolutely.
And the more you get behind you, the closer you are gonna get to being successful. And But that's just work hard. It's all about hard work. And if you think that it's not, then you shouldn't be doing it. I like the name Redhead. My
Thank you.
Oldest daughter Audrey is a redhead, and hopefully, are you the one that has red hair?
She does.
Okay. And
yes, sir.
That usually our winemaker Joy Merrill's redhead. I used to be red hair. If you can see me right now, maybe you are, but it's not red anymore because I got in the wine business, and so
you also got old. And what happens when you get older is you lose it and it goes gray.
I got less young.
Yes.
Okay. And so, but anyhow, just go for it. You just got to go for it and just put your face out there. Don't worry about hanging your neck out there. And just stick your neck out.
Marissa, I think you know this. I do this show quite a bit. Just listening to you, and I've seen some of your stuff pop up in my world, whether an email or something to reach out, and now just auditing your Instagram and now listening to kind of the way you're answering things. I think you're on the right path. A lot of times here, I think people are delusional and lost in outer space. I think you've got clearly being third generation, you're not naive or ideological. You know what this business is about. I actually genuinely believe that Clay and I drilled it. This is giving me more confidence for the roadshow I want to do with him, because I do think my black and white and his gray, which is always where it plays, the theoretical strategy of what he's saying is 100% right. It was fun for me to listen to him just now because I wasn't fully listening because D-Rock's trying to tell me what to do during the show, so I had to text him and tell him, don't fucking tell me what to do. I don't even know why he had the audacity to do that. It was ludicrous. But what Clay was saying was 100% right, which is the no's are the energy. Like, there's nothing better. Like, to me, when I think about Clay's life, of like when he goes and hits the streets, even at this place where he's built a humongous business, I know that he works the markets himself at times, not all the time. When he walks into a liquor store and you've got a schlemiel liquor store owner telling you some bullshit and coming up with a bullshit answer to why they don't want to buy your product, for you to have the humility to eat that shit in your day-to-day, really is the gear of a winner. I mean, I do it every day. I'm like living my life. I have a lot of reasons to not get the no's that I'm getting, but if you've lost your humility, you've lost. And I think that
I agree.
And I think that it's easier to have at 24 after you get some success and a couple gray hairs. It's harder, and I think the people that can hold on to the humility long enough, Walmart and Albertsons and the market owes you shit, and I can tell that you understand that. Just triple down on influencer marketing and Facebook ads, because those 85 store tests are unbelievably important to you right now.
Okay.
Like you should literally go to sit outside the parking lots of all these stores. Like, it might not be crazy for you to just hang out in Columbus, Ohio, and go from store to store and spend 1 hour in the parking lot and be like, hey, what, you going into Walmart? Like, want to buy some Redhead? I mean, like whatever it takes.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a sport.
I do a lot of events and in-store tastings when they have the license. I'm actually doing a Redhead wine train this weekend with the Cuyahoga Scenic Railroad, where I'll have 437 people that are tasting my wine and hear the story. So I'm trying to get out there. And
can I give you another piece of advice that we're going to let you bounce?
Sure.
If you do not DM every single famous Redhead, I will never talk to you again.
Okay, I will get on that.
Hit up Carrot Head, hit up Jim Courier. Give me some more here, guys. Conan O'Brien. Like, you need to hit Sam Darnold. Is Sam Darnold a redhead?
I think so.
I think he's more strawberry blonde. But anyway.
Me?
Clay, if you don't...
I got a little bit of red hair left.
Clay, do you on your
I'll
chest?
show you later.
Okay, awesome. Maris, thank you. See ya. All right, next question. Clay, the early days of hitting the streets, when you moved to establishing the brand and not just selling the grapes, you said it earlier, selling wine is the hardest. Did you think it was just going to be as easy as going to Ralph's with supermarket and be like, hey, you want 100 cases? Or was it humbling? Did it go well at first? Because you have with your personality, you're a great salesman. No question.
I can do okay, but the no's, if you let them get to you, they bother you. Just
give me the best yes and give me the best no in your wine selling career. Your best yes, your best no story. A lot of cases, a funny way. No, listen, this is story time. Give me a fucking story. I think it was
with your company, Wine
Library.
Wine Library.
Yep.
I don't know. Somebody from New Jersey, our distributor here, took me to your
this is gonna be great.
Whatever store. I don't know. I don't really care. I mean, sorry, no disrespect.
I don't feel any disrespect. My dad now hates you for life. Just so you know. I know Sasha. He heard you deliver that sentence.
Sasha's gonna love me.
No. He's finished with you.
Okay,
but that's okay. Keep going.
Fuck it, then I'm out of here.
I get it.
All right.
Well, not here. I'm not finished with you.
Listen. So I went to your. This is about not giving a shit. Okay.
Yep.
I went to your store.
Yep.
The guy distributor rep took me there.
Yep.
Somebody put me in a waiting room. I was there for like 45 minutes.
Perfect.
And I told
They've
the guy,
changed
I said,
since
let's get out of here. Let's get out here.
Two
Oh
hours.
no, this guy's so important. We got to see him. I said, I don't fucking care.
Fuck that dude.
Yeah. I mean, I could care less.
You hate Sasha.
Let's go see. No, it wasn't him. It was some
Brandon?
other. No, I don't think so.
Jim.
Maybe.
Sam.
I don't know. It was
they all fucking
5-6
right?
years ago.
You hate them, right?
No, I love them all.
Okay, keep
but
going.
I don't really give a shit.
I get it.
So I went
So
in
you
there,
left.
and the guy was scared. I said, let's go. There's somebody. If he doesn't appreciate my time, I do.
Definitely.
My time's valuable.
Now, let me talk to you about this.
But he wouldn't let me leave.
Understood. Let me ask you about this.
It was whole wine.
Let me ask you about this, actually. Your time valuable versus the other person's time valuable when you're selling. One of the things that I've been able to do and I have an amazing passion for my ego and confidence, but I have enormous love for my humility. I have sat in rooms for an hour and a half waiting for the CMO of a big brand coming, and I say to myself, as much as I'm not excited and I'm on a tight schedule and I'm chaotic, fuck this situation, but I am here trying to sell. Are you in those moments trying to weigh the options of, look, at this moment, I'm on this side of the equation and I should have the patience, or I'm empathetic to it, or maybe something's running wrong? Or are you like, fuck it, I'm fucking Captain Clay and I'm getting the fuck out of here?
We're in a customer service business, and I wait and I bite my tongue, but sometimes enough is enough.
Respect.
And you just gotta,
I get it.
there's a line,
Yeah.
and do you really want to do business with that person
How about
anyhow?
me? Forget about fucking Wine Library and those terrible people. What about me? I was right on time. I said hello. I gave you a hug. We got set up. I valued your
You
time.
were slightly late.
I was not slightly late.
Yeah. You were fine.
This guy.
This is Lance.
Lance, this is Gary Vaynerchuk, and you're here with Captain Clay Shannon.
Captain Clay Shannon. Well, thanks for calling.
Of course. Tell us about what you do in the wine business and what's your question?
Well, we've got a boutique wine store that's in a good socioeconomic area, and try to cater to a select wine crowd. And we've had some competition move in, not real close, but close enough that it's been affecting us. And they're kind of a warehouse outlet type stores. And I thought you would be the best person to ask for any tips at all on how to counter these bigger stores.
I have some real advice, so I'm excited you called. Okay, so I got a couple huge pieces of advice. Number one, if Clay Shannon ever comes to sell you wine, do not make him wait. That to me is the core of any business. Number two, you have to build your personal brand. And yesterday, Wine Library, it didn't turn out this way, but any market I would have opened up in, they would have been in deep shit, because I would have given service, I would have given selection, and I would have given price, and everybody would have struggled with that kind of machine. The only thing I was ever scared of is somebody like a guy I admire. His name is Chris Cree. He was a master of wine in New Jersey, and his store in Burnsville and wherever he would be was always a store that I knew that I couldn't compete with, because his personal brand equity as a master of wine was something that was indefensible, right? So for you, brother, you have to make Facebook, you have to basically reboot Wine Library TV. Don't be a salesman. Don't do QVC. Remember what I did with Wine Library. I was reviewing wine, not just my own wine and hawking it. If you build your personal brand equity in the 10-mile radius of your store, you will become indefensible, because people are willing to pay the extra $2 if it's a price difference, or they're willing to try your esoteric Grenache-based wine from Jura versus them pushing the California Cab or some cockamanian Lake County 2016 Sauvignon Blanc.
Wine Library TV, huh?
Yes. Do you know about my past career of what I did with that?
I know about Wine Library. I don't know about Wine Library TV.
So in 2006, when YouTube came out, I started something called Wine Library TV. There's 1,000 episodes of it on YouTube, and for 5 years, 5 days a week, I did a show where I reviewed wine. And in my heyday, in like 2009, 10, I was really, really impacting wine sales far beyond even my own sales around the country. And I was reviewing Costco's private labels, wines that were exclusive at wineries, wines. Clay would be a great example. I've got a weird affinity for Clay now, but I would literally review Clay's wine if it was serendipitous. If I did, so for example, I think Clay does a great Sauvignon Blanc project, which is why I made that funny joke just now. If I did a Sauvignon Blanc episode in a year and I was still doing Wine Library TV, I would probably have Clay's wine in it, but I wouldn't have had anything that I've ever had before. Sorry, Clay. I wouldn't have had anything I've ever done before. And that just made me so happy. And let's
I know
say
you're not sorry about that.
And 2017 Sauvignon Blanc I would have had, and even though Clay is somebody I admire and I'm building a relationship with, I literally would have panned it if I didn't like it. I remember panning a Cabernet Franc from a guy by the name of Sean Larkin, who I have unbelievable admiration for him. Did you ever run to Sean Larkin from
I know
Napa?
that name somewhere.
You two would have
though.
loved each other. He's the best.
I know that
best.
name.
And like he'd made incredible wine, and he had a new vintage Cabernet Franc, and I had it on the show. And literally my first trip to Napa, he let me sleep on his couch. Best dude ever. And I panned the wine. And I remember as I was panning it, in my head I was like, this fucking sucks. Like, what the fuck am I actually doing? Like, I really was going through those feelings, but I remembered I knew that I had to be honest to the audience. Otherwise, everything I would do forever would mean nothing. I genuinely think that you need to start making 3 1-minute videos on Instagram, 1 10-minute video. Here's what I would do if I were you. Start a 10-minute show on YouTube and Facebook where you review 3 wines a day. Cut up your review into 1-minute intervals for Instagram, post 3 of them a day, and start a podcast, which is the recording of how you taste it, and post it every day, you will be blown away how unbelievably defensible that is, and it will put real pressure on the warehouse.
Well, hey, I just bought Crushing It, just started it literally last night, and I was excited when I noticed that you may be calling me for the show today. So great talking with you, and I really appreciate your words.
Brother, listen to me, and I appreciate those kind words. If you do not start producing an enormous amount of content for Instagram, podcasts, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, you will lose. You will lose. Because I put out a lot of boutique wine stores out of business because of what that warehouse is doing. If they've got more square footage, and if they have more staff on hand, and they have lower prices because of their buying power, you're not going to win based on your romantic point of view of, well, we hand curate and we're refined. Customers are simple. If you start making content and showing your expertise and passion and kindness and quirkiness and other passions, you will become unstoppable. If you do not put in that work, you will lose.
I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Good luck. That was good advice.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right,
Customer
before we go,
service.
as you get into the next wine, yeah, but look, customer service, yes, but then you see the Home Depots and the Walmarts, like price fucking matters, bro. Friction.
It does for the world.
For the world. Talk to me about the 2016 Sauvignon Blanc. It's pretty good.
I think it's great. It's a great bottle of wine for
How much is
a
it
good
retail
price.
for, roughly? What range?
You're going to see it from probably $9.99 to $12.99, something
okay,
like
so
that.
Wine Library probably sells it for $4.99 because we're a price leader.
We're going to work on that a little later
Okay.
today, I think. We're not going to work on that price point. But it's great value wine. It's fresh. It's easy. It's simple.
Are you concerned that New Zealand produces such incredible Sauvignon Blanc at such an incredibly interesting price?
No, I'm not concerned.
How do
I'm
you
not
view that?
concerned. Well, what am I going to do about it?
I don't know.
I'm going to go out and sell Sauvignon Blanc from my ranch.
Respect.
That's what I'm going to do. And
I love this guy so much.
but I mean,
fuck you, New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean, stay in your own country.
All right, calm down, Clay.
But
That's not where I was going with
shouldn't
it.
say that.
Yeah,
but,
no, that's
okay,
not where you
okay,
go. But
all right.
let's
Cut that.
Say,
You
no,
gonna edit
we,
this?
No, it's
No.
live. You
oh,
lost.
Shit. Sorry. Anyhow, but the wine is great. It's great juice. Americans love opportunities and options.
Yep.
And New Zealand,
They're different types of wine.
Yeah.
Stylistically, this is creamier and got more weight and a different style.
Yeah, totally different style. We pick it when it's ripe. We can get things ripe. I think there's a little cooler growing conditions.
Who do you think
here.
makes the best Sauvignon Blanc in California, not named Shannon Ridge? Go.
Joel Gott.
Joel Gott. Interesting. All right, let's go to the next one. Who's next?
Josh.
Joel Gott is an impressive entrepreneur.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Josh?
We sell them a lot of fruit, grapes, not bananas.
Oh, this is Josh.
Josh, this is Gary Vaynerchuk. You're on the Ask GaryVee show with Clay Shannon.
I can't even believe it right now.
No, it's real.
What's up, Gary?
No, I get it. When you get a chance to talk to Captain Clay, it is a moment that you'll never forget.
All right.
All right, Josh, tell me about you. What do you do in the wine business?
So for the past 3 years, I've been working at a Connecticut vineyard. It's a farm
Interesting.
winery bistro.
Interesting.
And yeah, I've dipped into all parts of production and been mainly focused on sales in our tasting room.
That's awesome, bro. And you enjoying it?
So I've recently just changed jobs. So yeah, and I'm going into wine sales.
Okay. So you're still in the wine business.
Yeah.
And
Still in the wine business.
So you're working for a distributor selling wines? Is that what you're doing?
So I've interviewed, and I'm going on to meet with them about going out on sales calls and also using some of my video and audio production skills
I love
with my
it.
background in that.
Smart. So what's your question, brother?
So how do I go about adding value to a small medium wine importer? Do I start it just like GaryVee? I mean, just start with
That's always the answer.
Wine Library TV.
Look, Clay, let me ask you a question. Josh, appreciate the question. I'll give my answer in a minute, but I want to inject Clay here. Clay,
Yeah.
I assume that Shannon Ridge is sold by some big distributors in certain markets.
Some cases.
And some cases smaller.
Yes.
you're a veteran of the industry now. No more red hair.
I made
right?
it. I made it.
You made it. When you've seen small importers or small distributors succeed, has there been a common theme? What have you seen that's stood out from some of the, obviously Josh is making transition. It's a mid-sized, smaller distributor. He's trying to bring value. Obviously, he has these video skills, Babin, D-Rock, that kind of skill. But these are new things. I can speak to that. But for you, historically, over the last 2 centuries.
What do they do and do well? The small guys?
Yeah.
Smaller distributors? Yeah. I think they're more personal. They handle smaller brands, and they tell a story. They not only deliver, but they tell the story. They have a connection with their supplier, me, other wine folks, and they deliver that story. Some of these larger brands don't have a real story. We have a real story that's real. We live and farm and delivering that to the consumer, which is usually the wine buyer at a restaurant or a store, not the ultimate consumer. That's the way they do best. We do most of our business. We do the best with smaller distributors
because they tell the story.
They tell a story. They care.
Yeah.
Everybody's
lost,
busy.
You're not lost in their book.
Oh yeah, it's getting worse as
consolidation.
Consolidation's getting worse. Growth is declining a little bit for certain reasons, which
Why?
I'll tell you about.
Growth overall. People are drinking more water.
Retail business is declining a little bit, and I think soon it will be. I mean, it's growing less.
Yes.
And you know what? Graph it out.
Yeah,
Guess what's next?
Yeah, of course.
Because I think a lot of the retailers are forcing higher prices.
Yeah, falling behind too. Not innovating.
And people are leaving, going direct to consumer because they don't want to buy super expensive wine.
I get
Sorry.
it. Josh, I think, this is why I'm glad I asked Clay the question. Because he couldn't have set me up better as he's pouring his Buck Shack 2015 red. I want to know what's in it in a minute, Clay.
You smell this?
I smelled it.
It's great.
By the way, the bourbon-based wines you're making, like for all the fans that are watching right now, for me, like, guys, what is it, ShannonRidge.com?
ShannonRidge.com.
I'm glad you have that. ShannonRidge.com, go check it out. He's making wine in bourbon barrels, and for all of, I know my audience well, like, that's the wine you need to go find.
Wait till you see what comes out at the end of this year.
Here. I did a nice thing for you.
I just said wait to see what comes out.
Josh, listen. Here's what we need to do. Clay said it perfectly.
I'm going to charge you for this.
That's fine. Clay said it perfectly. Clay said, "Tell the story." Yeah. What he was referring to is right, which is the smaller distributors often hire nerdier, more educated salespeople. For everybody who's watching, when he talks about they don't have a story, some of these big brands that all of you know and buy at supermarkets, they're just buying up a ton of grapes and they're using marketing money and a fancy label, and that's their business. There is no heartbeat to the wine, right? There's no third generation. Oh, yeah. There's no grandpa died on this vineyard or the dog eats these grapes. All this, there's 13 rams or
consumers want to be closer to that grower these days.
So
they
Josh,
want to know.
You know what to do. Yeah. My recommendation is actually it's a little less fancy. I would FaceTime and Skype every founder or winemaker of every winery you guys represent and record it. You don't need to do the Babin incredible edited emotional story thing. You can absolutely do a very simplistic Skype where you interview over a course of 7 or 8 questions the winemaker of your Languedoc Rosé that you're bringing in, and then post that video to Greenwich, fucking Connecticut, and then remarkably, people want it.
Yeah, that's that's exactly what I needed to hear. I wrote down the storytelling thing before you gave me a call.
Well, listen, you must have obviously, Captain Clay used his incredible skills to know what you were thinking. He delivered on it, and Josh, Clay, and Gary.
Amazing.
Let's move on. Thanks. See you, brother.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It is all storytelling, isn't it? So you have an extensive boot and cowboy hat collection. Do you buy those products based on their stories?
No. No.
You buy them based on
there's
the
a couple of brand
cool.
names. I love. Can I say?
Say anything
I love
you want.
Stetson hats.
You like Stetson hats? That was a very good idea for you to say this. I don't know if you know any of this, but like a lot of people watch my content.
Yeah.
There's a very good chance that the director of marketing at Stetson Hats is either watching or somebody that.
Stetson.
Oh, sorry, Stetson.
Yeah.
Hats.
Yeah. You're gonna get one next time you come out.
And you're definitely about to get
one.
one.
And I'm not paying for it.
Right, because Stetson is. They like just watched, and they're sending you and me a hat.
I think they're.
And they're I assume they're
I hope
expensive.
they
You're
do.
fancy. How expensive are they?
Well, I like the really nice ones.
How much?
I don't know.
Tell the truth. Don't be embarrassed.
$150. Come on.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I thought your boots are the ones that are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, those.
Yeah. I got a little bit of a sickness on the
you're
boot
like-
thing.
yeah.
I do two things. I like to collect boots, and I like to compete. And my wife she hates me spending
By
money
the way,
on
your
boots.
wife is
but
so
I ordered
dark.
two
God,
pairs.
Just to paint a picture to everybody, this dude married so over his head, it's uncomfortable. Trout, you agree?
Agree.
Yeah, thank
Trout,
you.
hey, what
No,
are you
he
looking
agrees.
at, brother? Huh?
He agrees.
I mean, she's beautiful. She's a gorgeous gal.
No, it has nothing to do
And
with
smart.
the fact that she's way hotter than
She's
you.
so
It's that she's
smart.
awesome and nice and smart. She's nicer, smarter, and more attractive than you.
Hello.
Oscar, you're on the Ask GaryVee show with Captain Clay Shannon.
Hey, what's going on, Gary?
What's up, brother?
Clay, what's going on, man?
Yeah, just here being offended by Gary calling me Captain Clay. You know, I'll tell you a story about that someday in high school. I was a Captain Clay at one point.
What's new, Gary? Gary, just speaking out of a pure heart, I guess, pure heart.
Absolutely.
Oscar, what's your job in the wine world, and what's your question?
My job in the wine world. So I used to be a somm in a tiny little town in California called Yountville, and
Not so tiny.
What's that?
Not so tiny in its respect in the wine world. Where were you somming?
I was a somm at the French Laundry.
I love Oscar's humility. Keep going.
Is that a drive-in?
Yeah.
And so, and so now I'm actually, I swapped out of the somm world, and now I'm actually down in Miami opening up Chef Keller's new restaurant.
That's amazing.
So
brother.
we're actually in
Great.
Yes.
I'm excited about that.
We're
I've
in
heard about-
pre-opening stages right now.
Are you gonna pop up ever to the one that he's doing in Hudson Yards, which is right by VaynerMedia's headquarters? Do you know?
Yeah,
that?
we're actually designing that right now. So all of that's in pre-opening stages and designing. So it's kind of fun talking back and forth with Thomas. Funny enough, I just did a walkthrough with him this morning with the property here in Miami.
I love it, brother. Great. What's your question?
So, again, I was in the somm world, and what's funny is that I was a somm, but I hated somms. If that makes any sense.
Because 94% of them are straight dick faces.
Exactly, they're all dickholes, and so which is why I sort of opted out of that for my career.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess and I'm trying to teach people about just drinking good wine or just wine in general. It doesn't have to be good. As long as it's good for you, that's great. But I guess
Dude,
what would you
brother,
guys say?
Listen, in every industry, there's people that amass education and then try to use that education against other people because of the insecurities of their lives.
Right, and then and I think it's one of those things where a somm could come up to a table and interrupt. Sorry, pardon my interruption, but I'm going to interrupt your expertise with my confidence, that sort of thing. I think that's sort of the philosophy. When once you read a couple pages on wine, you just become an asshole.
Dude, this is a huge thesis of mine. You just literally delivered the line that I used for years when I was telling my story, which is the second, I'd literally be in business talks and I would say, how many of you have a friend or relative that's into wine? Most of them would raise their hand. And I was trying to explain why I started Wine Library TV, and I would say, well, then you know what I know, which is the second anybody gets any level of knowledge about wine, they become a straight asshole, right? And so I couldn't agree with you more. And by the way,
exactly.
The
And
amount
then
of,
if you were to visit,
go ahead.
And if you go to Sonoma and visit these guys who are making the delicious wine, they're the most humblest people on this planet. They're so nice. They open up their doors to you, and they're not snobs, and they're making the wine.
Go ahead, Clay.
Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. It's simple. It's food in other parts of the world. Wine is food, and let's just it's great fun and good camaraderie. It doesn't have to be so sophisticated.
But I will say this for Oscar, for Clay, for myself, for Trouty, because he's a wine snob. I also think that we get confused at times. 99% of people don't give a fuck. Oscar, and to your point, keep it simple.
Right.
Good news. 99% don't.
Right. Keep it simple and just drink what you like, and that's it. And you know, when you go in a restaurant, just don't get too nervous about the wine list. Just pick something that you like.
Oscar, I've seen the biggest CEOs in the world running $800 billion companies. When the wine list comes, pass it away like it's got like
weak in the knees. Totally
it's
weak
unbelievable.
In the knees.
It's unbelievable.
You know what drives me crazy? And I mean, I can probably afford any nice bottle of wine. Expensive.
Well, of course. You're spending $40,000 for a pair of boots. You can do it.
Yeah, well, I don't. It's not 40, but I can buy any bottle of wine. You're close to it, right? So big deal. But you know what? When people look and cherish and oh my God, oh geez, I'm already into my second glass. I just want to have fun. You know, I mean, this is supposed to be fun and food and healthy and not. It's like what the. I'm just not. We're not that kind of company. That's for sure.
No, you're not. And honestly, that's why you're sitting here. And Oscar, I had the same reaction, brother. Like, I mean, the pushback. Watching the narrative of Wine Library TV from 2006 to 2011 was super interesting for me because people, I mean, Psalms, a lot, and distributors, and like everybody, people were mad at me for making it fun and accessible. And I would sit there and say, idiots. I mean, John Troutman sitting here right now got into wine because of Wine Library TV. He was into it a little bit because his dad had a restaurant, but like it made it, like he found a voice that made it interesting. We were creating more interest in wine. All these sommeliers are doing is making it more inclusive, and like it's the same old. I mean, God, honestly, you're rehashing feelings, Oscar, right now. That like, it's super sad that people claim to care about something when what they're doing is taking the beauty of it and making it selfish and trying to put themselves on a fucking pedestal.
Can I dumb it down?
Right, and knowing that great, you can just you'll have a somm come by. And he'll be so pretentious about the wine and he knows nothing about the story behind it. He knows nothing about hanging out with the family or knowing how humble the family was that made it.
Oscar, sometimes she or he does. What they don't know is in my life, I've never had a somm ask me questions about how my day was or what I'm even doing there, because I can tell you right now, I choose wine for my moments in time much more about the situation at hand and the mindset than the food that I'm eating. Every day of the week.
Right, because I would always... Sorry.
Go ahead, brother.
Because I would always approach the guest and say, what do you like? I'm not going to go ahead and start recommending things just because there's a comma in the price.
You know, it's funny. You just made me think of this incredible story. You remember Burn's Steakhouse down in Tampa?
Yeah, in Tampa.
Legendary place. Really not pretentious. And I thought it was so fun. As a matter of fact, it's so cool. It's more like Clay, like awesome. Like really chill, this crazy list. And the sommelier came up to me and goes, and to his credit, he said, "What do you like?" And I was just in a joyous mood, and I thought it was that kind of place. And so I said, Kendall Jackson Chardonnay. and
they brought it out.
No, he shit on me, and then I fucking destroyed him because I forgot more about wine than he knew. But it was interesting to your point.
That's a good story.
It was really funny. But anyway, real quick, we hit on something I've never said in my life, and I actually want to clip it and make a piece of content around it. I think wine should be chosen based on mood and atmosphere and the context of what's happening. If you have a Kentucky Derby party this weekend and you have a bunch of buddies over and you're betting, like that's a great time for bubbles or something simple or an over-the-top, unbalanced, all my Somm friends want to shit on Australian Shiraz because it's over-extracted and it's makeup wine and it's full of shit. And guess what? At some level, if you want to be a scientist, they're not wrong. My thing is, if I'm hanging out with my buddies and I'm watching, WrestleMania, I want to have a Cabernet that was fucking aged in bourbon barrels because they're going to be like, whoa, I like this because I don't usually like wine, but what the fuck is this? This is like some bourbon shit. I'm like, yeah, bro, it is. Like to me, it's the context of the mood that you're in way more than like the perfect acidity match of this Gruner is going to crush it with the Kumamoto oysters. I'm like, awesome, nerd. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, who's going to drink Harlan while watching the Jets game?
That's exactly right. And some Jet games I need to drink vodka, and some Jet games I need to have some champagne, and that's just the way it's going to be.
It's a simple product. It's fermented grape juice is what it is. It's grown in different climates all over the world, different soils. That's what makes it different. Different yields, different trellises, and to me, it's just simple, fun. Let's have some fun. That's what everybody needs
Don't
to do.
complicate it, yeah.
Oscar, listen to me good. With this energy and your pedigree, and it's funny, one of my favorite Psalms of all time is a guy by the name of Andre Mack. Do you know Andre?
Totally, hell yeah. Opening Psalm per se, absolutely.
That's right. And, part of Keller's world, I'm starting to like Keller, even though I don't know him super well, based on the people that he keeps around him. And I always gravitated towards Andre because we would talk about wine the way we talk about hip hop or like fun. He was just a good dude, and he was fucking the opening sommelier at Per Se. It was fancy as shit, and he rolls out, and he's just a normal guy. And I, Laura Maniac, these people that I thought just did a
Corpus,
yeah, exactly. Like, they're out there. I said 94% for a reason. There's 6% that are the gold standard that are doing positivity. Please do me a favor, Oscar. Start tweeting and Instagramming about wine like a normal person. You could do a lot of good for the game. And I think having someone with your pedigree and your energy is important for the wine world. And if you do that, that would mean a lot. And I'll try to retweet it at times. Like, do that. Put out content. That's how you change the game.
Yeah, cool. I mean, that's how I think I'm doing it on Instagram right now.
Good.
I just take a picture of a cork and,
Good.
Just write
Tell
little story about it.
I love it, brother. Thanks for calling.
Thanks, guys.
Clay, we're going to wrap up the show. There's going to be two things we're going to do. One, you're about to ask the question of the day. So this is your opportunity to get an answer to maybe, consumer insight or curiosity. I'll give you a second to think about this because I don't assume you watch my show and you probably didn't know this was coming. But I'm going to throw a right hook, not for me. If I have ever, and this comes directly, sorry, Dad, this comes out of my dad's pocket, but this is how I feel right now. If I've ever brought you value in any shape or form, it would mean the world to me if you bought some wine from Shannon Ridge. If you went to shannonridge.com right now and bought some wine to support this dude for one very basic reason. The wine world is a world that I love in the same way that I've fallen in love with the advertising world. I think a lot of people in the advertising world don't realize how much I love it because I push against the status quo and they think I'm out for me, I'm a charlatan, I'm a disruptor, I'm doing it for shtick. I'm doing it because 98% of the behavior in the advertising world for the biggest brands in the world is wrong and it's in the self-interest of the agencies. I love the wine world, but 98% of the behavior of the conglomerates, the distributors, and the retail stores are in it for their profit and things of that nature. Clay's an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur, but he's a good dude. And when we support great ladies, great guys doing the right thing for our world, it matters. And so even though I throw right hooks for my wine club and wine library and the Secret Wine Project that's coming, it would mean a lot to me if you supported Clay in one bottle, one case. Look, personally, I tasted them quite a bit of them. They're terrible wines. But I'm kidding. They're remarkable.
I wouldn't expect anything different.
They're really well made and I think value driven wines for the price that he charges. So shannonridge.com, you guys have watched 288 of this and 1,000 other videos. I don't throw right hooks often for myself. I never fucking throw right hooks for other people. Fuck that. That will give you the indication of what I think this dude is up to. And more importantly, buying a bottle from him represents not just him. He'll get the selfish, lucky, nice ROI from it, but there's a group of 20, 40, 50 people that I admire in this game, and I'd like to see some of them win. And so I have a funny feeling when you taste the bourbon-based red, the Sauvignon Blanc, I thought the Rosé was really interesting that I tasted. I like to get a better price for Wine Library on it. We'll talk about that tonight. But in general, I think you're a good dude, and I'm glad you're on the show.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I almost did it again.
Yeah.
Question of the day.
Yeah, he bathed me with wine a few minutes
Question
ago.
of the day.
Question of the day, not a question, just...
No.
If you're looking for a great... Are you looking for a great, sustainably farmed company to...
What are you doing here? You're throwing a right hook in your question?
I was going to say something about how sustainably farmed we are and simple and good wine.
Sounded selfish. Especially after I just did a fucking commercial for you.
All right, why don't you ask a question?
No, you ask a general... Here's what I would do. If I were you, do you think sparkling wine can work in California? What's the last bottle of wine that really changed your perception of a varietal? Do you think I'd look good in red hair? Like, I don't know, something that isn't a fucking infomercial, dick.
I can't even respond right now.
Yes, you can.
First off, can you put it on hold? I'm going to grab you and strangle you.
Yes, you can do that after. We'll put in the vlog.
I just,
what?
I don't know what to ask.
I know you do. Let me help you because I love you.
Okay.
What is intriguing to you right now about the consumer? Like, what are you seeing out there? Like, I do think you can get there. Like whether it's boxed wine, screw top. Look, rosés didn't fucking exist in our country 5 to 7 years ago. Like, is there?
What packaging are you looking for? What kind of price points? What flavors? What profiles? What color? Is it rosé? Is it white? Is it red? What are you folks looking for? And we'll make it. We grow a lot of fruit. We can do it. You want me to start again?
Nope. I want to thank you.
Cut it. All right.
Love you, brother.
All right. Take care.
You keep asking questions. We'll keep answering them.